Hello and welcome to the 6:30 show. Tonight, you're only a week away from Halloween, and if you're in the market for a creepy costume, we've got some spooky sartorial suggestions for you from the Golden Cage. You'll see some live magic as well. And Nottingham's Old Market Squares on England's Heritage at Risk Register. But what exactly does that mean, and where else in Notts is listed? Joining me this evening are magician Roy Bond and actress Buckso Dhillon. Now, do you remember the times at school when, on your birthday, you take in a cake or maybe some sweets for the other children in your class? Well, some British schools have now stopped this from happening for fear of contributing to childhood obesity. But parents have voiced concerns that this is just a step too far and that the teachers involved are simply being killjoys. So what do you think?
I think it's great that kids can take stuff into school like that, and it's once a year per kid. So, you know, I'm happy for schools to have in tuck shops just fruits and vegetables, and this can be a little extra treat to make it a little bit extra special for the kids for their birthday.
I think it's a good thing because they eat too many sweets anyway, and why can't they take fruit in, which would be a lot better really for them.
Want to bring sweets in, I think that should be fine, because sometimes when they've been on holiday and they bring sweets back, or if it's a birthday, and then they'll take it out at the end of the day, and then it's up to the parents whether they have them or not. They don't normally have them in the classroom, so yeah, I think that's okay.
A child can be made to feel special every day without sweets. Why feed them to make them happy? And also, what about the allergens? My granddaughter's got a really severe case of peanut allergy. If she even smells peanuts, she would possibly die. I know it's a dramatic thing to say, but we always have to carry the EpiPens just in case.
Well, Roy, to me it does seem a little bit of a step too far, actually banning, a moment of levity in the day at school and a little bit of a treat for the kids, for fear of this phrase that we constantly hear now, childhood obesity. What do you make of it?
I think it's just ridiculous. I think it's a culture that's kind of creeping over here from America, the social justice thing, the safe space, snowflake kind of culture where trigger warnings have to be issued and you can't eat this and you can't do that. I think, listen, cake's cake. Kids will run it off, you know.
Well, you say that, but I mean, will they? Because half of the problem is that kids don't do that much exercise these days. And, whereas maybe, we used to go tearing around the playground and let off a bit of pent-up energy at break time. I suspect kids are now more likely to be sitting in classrooms playing on their phones and stuff. So if they are so sedentary, isn't it a bit of a problem?
I don't think so. I think it's all about awareness and it's somebody's birthday, for goodness sake. So, next they'll be saying you can't announce it's your birthday because you'll feel special and no one else will. So, it should be everything in measure, everything in balance, everything sort of, bits of everything, really.
Potentially, on the spread, depending on the spread of the birthdays, you could have 30 of these cake days in a year, couldn't you? We'll find out what you've got to say about this, Buckso, in just a few moments' time. But so we've been speaking to a nutritionist about just how much of a difference banning birthday treats in schools would make.
It's a really tricky one because I get that parents feel that they're being told what to do. I get parents feel that the schools are taking all the fun out of their children's time at school. But at the end of the day, sugar is a serious issue. And the teachers don't know what the diets of the children are like before they come to school, but they have a duty of care and responsibility to make sure that when those children are in school, those diets are as good as they can be. And there's various campaigns like the Healthy Schools campaign and the Healthy Lunchbox campaigns that say you can't have certain sweet things in a lunchbox or in a school meal. So it's sending a mixed message if then a child comes in with a huge great big cake full of candles, sugar, chocolate, marshmallows, sweets, it goes on. And if you think there's about 39 school weeks in a year, and there could be 20 pupils in a class. So that could be every 2 weeks a cake is coming in. So I would say that I think they're right to be cautious and they're right to say, let's have a look at the amount of sugar that's coming into the schools, that the school provides in its meals but comes in via the children and presents, sweets, treats and cake. So I think they're right to look at it.
Greens.
Well, there's the sage advice of the expert on nutrition. I don't know, Buck, so what do you make of this? You do see quite a lot of fat kids around, don't you, these days?
You do, but I mean, I must admit, when I first heard about it, I thought, OK, using a bit of a sledgehammer to crack a nut here, using that sort of like banning them all in the sort of schools and whatnot from bringing in the cakes and things. But on the flip side of it, I suppose we have got a problem. There is a bit of an issue going on with that, so... And it takes little steps, doesn't it? It's a small step-by-step thing that we've got to do. You can't just take massive changes and say, right, kids, no more chocolate in the house anymore. It's something that you have to do in a drip effect. So if it starts in the playground, then fine. I think some parents quite like the fact that they then don't have to adhere to society's sort of like messages they're giving out of, well, if you don't bring your kids a birthday cake and you can't really care much about your child, can you? I think a lot of parents feel pressure, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
I mean, I couldn't give two hoots myself.
Me neither.
But me with two, I've got twin 14-year-olds, boy and a girl. Trust me, they are sedentary.
Are they?
Yeah, so I have to remind them when they reach him.
Do they pay the
They're
price?
not actually, no, they're not. They've not taken on after me, thank God.
Oh, don't be so silly.
They're more from the dad's side, to be honest. But luckily, the dad will take my son out for a bit of basketball and whatnot, so my daughter's the one that doesn't move.
All right. Next then, it's half-term at the moment, so parents have, as ever, been looking for something to do all day for the kids to get involved with. Fortunately, the 11th Game City Video Game Festival begins this Thursday, and Richard Minkley went to talk to festival director Ian Simons about what you could expect.
So what kind of things are going to be happening at the festival?
So it's lots and lots of things, different days. So there's going to be tons of work here for people to play, and we develop together all over the country, showing them new games that people won't have seen before. So lots of opportunity for people to meet developers, which they don't often get to do. We've got all day on Friday, the 28th, I think it is, a massive Pokemon party, like huge. You've been to a Pokemon party before?
I haven't been to a
This will
Pokemon
be
party
the
before.
biggest and best Pokemon party that you've ever been to.
That does sound pretty amazing, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much the capital city of Pokemon for that day. And then on the Saturday, of course, we've got the Sheriff's Gauntlet, the 3rd annual Sheriff's Gauntlet Challenge, which takes place beginning at the Robin Hood statue at 10:30. And that's a challenge which will take about 2 hours, where someone will win the gauntlet for this year. So that's a series of challenges that the sheriff herself sets for the people of the city.
And just for people at home, just to let them know, the boss has just appeared. It's a giant rhino man.
It is a giant
and I'm afraid
rhino.
we've got to defeat him as well.
We can't lose. I
No,
fear we may be.
we're not doing terribly well. Right, come here.
Roy, your beady little eyes were lighting up there.
Yeah. I was just saying that that's the museum just in Hockley, and I've just bought one of the PlayStation VR headsets.
You're a grown man.
Well, I know, but I was there at the inception of video games, so I was at the right age to go on Space Invaders in the arcades when it first came out, and it never left me, really.
I remember Space Invaders, but I think you and I, Buckso, safely at a distance.
Yeah.
Now, Nottingham's Old Market Square has been added to Historic England's Heritage at Risk Register, alongside other vulnerable places across Notts. And being on the register means extra funding for maintenance. Owen Shipton visited some of the sites.
We are already a listed building, Grade 2 star listed, but the building is not necessarily falling down. It's decaying faster than we can keep it up. Our membership, our subscriptions pay for the staff and it pays for basic maintenance, but it doesn't pay to do things like repair the roof, which is a major cost. So the roof is over 260 years old. It's never been replaced. It's only ever been patched. So it does need completely replacing. It's starting to fall apart a bit too much.
The roof was, the coating of the roof was quite old, and we need that replacing to protect the 15th century oak beams so they don't deteriorate. Keep dry. Unfortunately, we don't have too many leaks at the moment, but the more leaks we get, the more damage there will be to the beams, and they would then have to be replaced at a great cost.
You never want to be on the Heritage at Risk register, but it kind of signifies that we're important enough that we need money to help us. Being on the register will mean that we can access more funding, things like that, to help us get the roof, because it's something we can't do on our own. It means the water will no longer get in, so our books will not start falling apart, which they are doing at the minute, which means we can then stop spending money on conservation work for the books because they won't need it. And it means that we will still be here in another 200 years' time.
Well, Bromley House is an absolute oasis of calm, you know, and places like that, we really do need to cherish them, I think. We are blessed, though, aren't we, in Nottingham, with such a variety of wonderful heritage.
Yeah, well, my favourite one's the council house. My
ballroom.
Yeah, because I've been working with the manager of that building for a number of years, and he's let me into a few secrets and taken me down into the depths of it.
Really?
Yeah, under oath of complete silence. But it's there's a lot going on down there.
I want to know. Well, there's a lot going on.
No, I can't tell you. I can't. I've been sworn to secrecy. No.
Well, you know we're going to go and find out now, don't you?
Well, I'll leave that to you. But it is, it's fantastic. Yeah.
What do you think's down there, Bucks?
I don't know. A few catacombs things, is there?
Yeah, there's definitely, definitely.
Yeah. Seriously though, I mean, I think it really is crucial that you know, whether or not it's through things like this register, that we do look after our landmarks and our history.
It is, because again, it's something that you want to be able to look back on and know that you experienced yourself, and then your kids themselves are going to be able to experience as they get older as well. It is, I think, is only something that comes into its own when you hit sort of like 40s and onwards, where you really start to appreciate it. And, you know, because then you really want to know about your environment and where you're from and whatnot, from experience.
And does it strike you just very briefly as odd that someone like the Market Square is on the list?
Yeah, but again, with Nottingham, there's so much stuff underground, not just above ground. So you don't know, with structure on a building, the facade might look great, but
it is a fantastically diverse city, but lots of hidden treasures clearly. When we come back, some magic from Roy.
Persil presents Concentrated Persil Power. Practice makes perfect, but practice makes stains. Persil capsules with powerful stain removal in every spin.
Always keep away from children.
Bring home the big screen with a Now TV Sky Cinema Month Pass. Start your free 14-day trial at nowtv.com and launch into over 1,000 movies on demand. Discover a new premiere every day, as well as those favourites you can't wait to see again, all without a contract. And with up to 30 new movies added each month, there's something for everyone. To start your free 14-day trial of over 1,000 movies with no contract, go to nowtv.com today.
Paying too much for your glasses? Visit Glasses Direct and get 2 pairs for just £19. Hurry, offer is limited, so get your new glasses now at glassesdirect.co.uk.
Discover Lidl's Cimarosa wine range, starring their award-winning South African Chenin Blanc, just $3.79. Australian Shiraz at $3.89. Californian Zinfandel Rosé, only $3.99 a bottle. Now, which one to choose?
Tis I, One Sheet. Make big mess. New Plenty is now 15% more strong as bull and as wettable, wringable, and scrub-bubbable as ever. Plenty, now 15% stronger. One Sheet does plenty. For your chance to win a troll, be grabbing yourself a promotional pack of Plenty. DreamWorks Trolls. Only in cinemas.
Right. Listen up. I want you to stop moaning about your high energy bills. You see, USwitch make comparing and switching energy providers so simple. 1, go to USwitch. 2, enter a few details. 3, you could save yourself a few £100 on your energy bills. It is that simple. Marvellous. USwitch, the simple way to switch. Well, what are you waiting for? Go on.
Time for a new smartphone? You can get £120 discount on any smartphone plan from BT Mobile if you've got BT Broadband at home. And you can get online with fast 4G and Wi-Fi in more places than any other mobile provider. You'll find fantastic deals on our bestsellers, like the Samsung Galaxy A3 2016 from only £17 a month. The top-of-the-range Sony Xperia X from £35 a month. Or the powerful Samsung Galaxy S6 from just £25 a month. And best of all, with these 3 plans, there's nothing to pay up front. Switch today. Call 0800 028 3344 or visit bt.com/mobile.
Dreaming of upgrading your old bathroom or need a new central heating system fitting? Bathroom installations usually require a plasterer, joiner, tiler, floor fitter and of course a plumber. But when you hire a multi-skilled Flowfair fitter, they can complete all aspects of the job and even have your bathroom fitted within 5 days. All work is quality checked and with a one-price guarantee, there are no nasty surprises. Call Flowfair to book your free quotes today.
Mum, this washing machine stinks.
Dettol washing machine cleaner, killing 99.9% of bacteria, leaving your machine hygienically cleaner and fresher.
No plumbing job is too small for our Flowfair team. From a tap swap to a kitchen sink replacement. Call Flowfair today.
Magician Roy Bond and actress Buckso Dhillon. Now, 2 years ago, Buckso gave up her home life to follow her dream in London's West End. While she always wanted to be an actress, it wasn't until she was 37 that she decided to pursue her ambition and got her big break when she landed a starring role in the stage show Bend It Like Beckham. And that meant moving out of the family home for 6 days a week and leaving her husband and twins behind. Sounds like quite a sacrifice, but I assume, Buckso, for something that you really were very passionate about.
This is the thing. I mean, it was a tough decision, I'll be honest. It was a tough decision. Probably 20 years ago, in my 20s, I wouldn't have thought twice about it because I wouldn't have had any commitments as such, responsibilities or anything like that. But it was something I had to think about carefully because it meant my husband would have to go part-time as well. So it didn't just affect me, it would affect my husband's working life also. And he's never been a part-time, he's never been part-time in his life. So for him to take a back seat as it was and let me go and do the full-time thing was a bit of a decision to make. But it had to be done, you know, it had to be put on the CV.
Well, you know, it is a bit of a risk, isn't it? Because acting, it can be a very temperamental career. You know, you can have a great period and then suddenly it can go quiet. And of course, you know, you're scrounging around for money. So it was a risk as well for you, wasn't it?
Well, it was because, I mean, I didn't know how it was going to work out. You know, I didn't know whether I'd enjoy it because I'd never done theatre before in my life. This was the first time I'd actually done theatre.
So you were 37. I mean, have you been to acting school? How did it work?
I've never done any acting school. I've got no qualifications.
How did you get the job? How did you get your first job?
Well, the thing was, a friend of mine had got an agent in London and he knew I was into acting and whatnot. After I'd had the twins, I thought I reassessed my life because I worked in the railway and knew that this wasn't actually going to be for me.
And there you are.
But,
yeah.
Well, yeah, but this is it. That's it, exactly. Yes, there I am, dressed as a 60-year-old woman. And I was thinking, well, I've lost my thread now. What was the original question?
I just wonder how, you know, with no formal acting training, how you're able to go and land a great big role like this.
Do you know what it is? It's really, it is who you know initially, and then it's the tenacity of keeping going. I auditioned 3 years on the trot. 3 times they were auditioning for the workshop.
So lots of rejections.
Lots of rejection, and I could have decided no. After that first point, no, I'm not going to go in for it. Stop sending me down to London for these auditions all the time to get a no. But then a third audition, I got into the workshop. So I did 3 weeks in London for the workshop. And then I thought, that's it, put it to bed. I've done it now. 6 months later, they want to see you for the actual casting of the show itself.
How did that feel?
It was almost like, really? They've seen me 3 years on the trot. What is it they need to see now? But it's not so much that. They were trying to find a way of putting me into the show somewhere. Is she for this role or is she for that role? Where do we want her?
Yeah.
We need to know where she's going to go. So, again, it was going back to London, travelling down to London to have the castings again and just see, you know, and it was almost like universe, please just make the decision.
And what about your husband and your kids? How did they react to you not being there?
Do you know what? Because they were in their own environment, they were in a familiar place, their home, their rooms, their living room, it didn't really impact on them. And of course, being the disciplinarian, it was great because the disciplinarian wasn't around. They had the life of Riley. They'd never had it so good. They never had it so good. I was worried they'd miss me, but I think it was me that missed them the most.
Well, Buckso, you definitely reached out and achieved your dream, but I wonder what your dream is.
As you can see, we're here today in Town Centre, and we're going to approach people and see what people's dreams are and why they haven't done them yet. Let's go.
Music producer, man.
Music producer.
Making some bangers, yeah. Dear me, that's a tough one, isn't it?
It's a tough one, isn't it?
I wanted to be an actress.
there any particular reason why you haven't done it yet?
Because it's really hard and a lot of competition. Yeah.
We do them every day.
You do them every day?
Every day, man.
What exactly do you do?
Every day. Do what I do.
What is it?
What I want.
What is that though?
Go where I want, do what I want, see what I want.
But what do you do though? He hasn't told me what he does.
I'm 81. Keep going, that's the main thing.
Keep going, that is the main thing. That is the one.
I want to drive a Ferrari, man.
Drive a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Just see it now.
Yeah.
Just see it now. Just driving a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Going around.
My man's broke, fam.
You're broke. You'll get there.
You're not chasing your dream anymore.
Oh, okay.
No, I suppose my dream would be that children are fulfilled and their children, grandchildren are fulfilled and live good lives.
You know, if you don't have a dream, Roy, you know, how are you going to have a dream come true?
There's a song there somewhere.
Did you? Yeah. Did you always want to be a magic man?
No, I just wanted to be, because of my background, I just wanted to look after my family. I just want to have a house and kids and they didn't have to worry about anything. So I just did anything, really. I ended up being a plasterer for about 20 years. So that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a plasterer. So I kind of fell into magic a little bit accidentally, if you like. But I turned out I was quite good.
Well, we're going to see an example of just how good you are in a few moments' time. First, though, just a week until Halloween. So if you fancy stealing a bit of a march and getting your costume before all the good stuff's gone, have a look at this, because we've taken a trip to the Golden Cage to see what outfits will be selling out this year.
So Halloween's coming up. What would you say are the most popular costumes for 2016?
Well, at the moment it looks like it's Captain Jack Sparrow yet again. And the men's, there's Beetlejuice, which obviously is going out. And then maybe for the ladies, would you believe Snow White and Cruella de Vil? So that's what's on our sort of top of the list at this moment of time.
So this is the fabulous Cruella de Vil costume for Halloween, and I must say I am feeling pretty scary right now. So let us see what makes this costume so popular for this time of year. Okay, so this is your fabulous Cruella de Vil costume.
It is indeed.
It is very fabulous, and I can't believe how much I've transformed, really. So could you describe what elements are a part of this costume?
Well, there's obviously the wig that you're wearing and the choker, and obviously there's the cape and the dress, and the doggy handbag, and the cigarette holder. It all makes part of the costume, which is really sort of a replica out of the film.
So this is a very popular costume for Halloween.
Very, very much so. Every year, normally you have to book it about a month in advance to make sure you actually get it.
So I've dropped the student James Nucky for squadron leader James Nucky. I'd like to think I'd pull it off quite well. Rob, what do you think?
Yeah, I think you look great, mate. Look the part, so to speak. A proper squadron leader.
You said this is an extremely popular choice for the men on Halloween. How popular is it?
Oh, it's popular. I mean, we'll send out about at least 8 or 9 RAF costumes over the Halloween period. People like getting dressed up as pilots.
If someone wants to hire this out, how can they hire it out? Because I'm not sure if you've seen, I think I look pretty cool like this, so I reckon a lot of people watching would like to try this on as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you want an RAF costume, you have to come in and you have to try it on, because it is proper uniform, as you can see. And then obviously we kit you out and make sure you look the part, and then you then book it through our computer system for the particular day you're going to be celebrating.
Like a man in uniform. And tomorrow we'll be showing you some simple but ghoulish makeup tricks for All Hallows Eve. Now, let's end this evening with some marvellous magic from Roy. And, well, you've got 3.5 minutes to blow us away. And I have to say, you always do. What's today?
Minutes, 3 bits of old rope. Piece of rope. Check it. Make sure it is. By the way, I should say for the camera that there's
old rope, new trick.
Yeah, there's two camera tricks in the routine. Keep your eye out for them. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll take that. You have that one. Excellent.
My rope's smaller.
Well, it's not that, the size. It's about what you do with it.
So they tell me.
By the way, do your ends of the rope stick together? Anything sticky there at all? Nothing?
No.
So here we have, before we go any further, would you just check just to make sure there's no magnets or Velcro in the ends of the rope. Anything built in there at all?
Not that I can see.
Check the other ends in the interest of balance, and then answer me how it changes that fast. I mean, we have 3 medium-sized pieces of rope. We have a medium-sized piece, Buckso, another medium-sized piece, and another one. That's not even the camera trick. The camera trick isn't even when I change the rope back to how it was in the beginning into a short piece of rope.
That's impossible.
And a medium-sized piece of rope and a long piece. That's not the camera trick. The camera trick is about to happen. Just check it all again. Make sure it is what you think it is.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. And for yours, Richard, do the ends of your rope stick together? Nothing there at all?
No.
So do you want to see a camera trick without it? I mean, to the people at home, it's going to be a camera trick, but for you two, it's going to be a real live sort of... This is real magic, this is. We have 3 pieces of rope that are roughly now 3 pieces. We have a medium-sized piece and a medium-sized piece and another one. That, actually... I could leave that there. It's kind of amazing, isn't it? But I'm going to make my job a bit more difficult. Take one piece away. That was the long bit. Would you try and stretch it back into the long bit? Give it your best effort. If not, we'll just place it on the table.
It won't stretch.
What we have here is 2 pieces of rope. The ends don't stick. I can tie 2 pieces of rope together and show you that in my right hand, Buckso. In fact, I'm going to test your eyesight. How many pieces of rope in my right hand?
Well, there's 1 now.
Well, there's 2 tied together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And 4 ends in a knot has always been 2 tied together, hasn't it? Yeah. But not. And you know, if you had another camera trick. It would look something like this, which is kind of unusual because you're watching this live and people at home are going to be thinking, well, there's got to be a camera trick here somewhere because that's just a thing.
That's insane.
Well, it is insane. It is insane. But while I've got your attention, how many ends do I have?
There's 2 there.
Yeah, but not all the time. You see, from time to time, we end up, get rid of those for a second because we end up with a loop. I'm just showing off now, Buckso, to try and entertain you. I can put the ends back on for you if you want to check it with the ends back on. Just make sure. Give it a go. And then do you want to know how it's done?
Yeah.
Do I have enough time to tell you?
Yeah.
It's magic. That's what it is. or let's say static electricity. Rubbing like balloons in your hair, that sort of thing. Exactly the same, really.
I can't believe that's actually happening in front of us. Now, it looks like something's been rigged here. It actually is happening in front of us.
Even the spare ends, we could put the ends back on and then we end the trick by getting back to the beginning. In the beginning, don't worry about the scissors. The scissors are very small.
In the beginning.
You'll never spot the scissors, but they do change back, and I'm going to drop all 3 pieces onto the table. 1 at a time, starting off with Buckso. I think I'll do the short piece first. Are you OK with that?
Sure, yeah.
There's the short piece.
My God.
There's the medium piece. There's the long piece.
That is incredible. I've got absolutely no idea how you do these sort of things.
Me neither. Me neither.
And how you do it so quickly. And, I mean, we've just got to be honest here. I mean, you can use bits of trickery and stuff on telly.
Yeah.
But we swear, there was absolutely nothing going on there.
No way.
I mean, what's he got in his... Has he got some sort of blades or something? It's just incredible.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
You see?
I've actually done this in boxer shorts and shoes.
Well... That was his dream. That was his dream to be a good magician, and he's definitely achieved it. Absolutely astonishing, and it was real, I assure you. That's it for now. A big thanks to my guests, to Roy and to Buckso, and from me, have a very good night.
Whether it's perfecting your skill, getting fit, fun for the kids, or just having a great time, we offer a fantastic intro to tennis for all ages and abilities. There's coaching for beginners through to advanced, and places available for our junior tennis camps running all summer. So, to have fun, get fit, and love tennis, contact On The Ball Coaching today.
What makes a perfect weekend?
Something unexpected that makes me smile.
Football, lots of football, lots of sport.
Shopping. I like to keep an eye on the latest fashion.
Good food, a great night out. Look out for the post this weekend, packed full of local news, a weekly review, and everything you like at the weekend. Sport, food, fashion, entertainment, and TV. On sale Saturday.
Perfect weekends start with the post.
There's loads of words for a small sandwich like miniature loaf of bread, but if you live round here and you call it anything but a cob, then you're not proper not. But why do we call it a cob? Well, because cob is an Old English term for a lump or rounded mass of summit. Before bricks and that, folk used to make cob houses, and they looked like, well, cobs. Theirs were made out of clay, water, sand and straw. Ours are made out of ham, cheese, chips and breakfast. Proof once again that when it comes to innovation, creativity and shoving an arse in your mouth, ain't not mint. Still to come on Notts TV, it's Noise Floor. But first, it's Notts TV News.